Movie's fantastic. Timothée Chalamet plays a talented table tennis player who is swift with his paddle and slick with his schemes. He's boiling over with bravado, he's insistent with his charm, and he's a man of many lies. He's a very complicated person. And ultimately, he takes manipulative measures to secure what he wants out of life through different people. And all of these characters are also somewhat manipulative in their own right. And it's just exciting to watch this chaos. The word I put down in my notes was just exhilarating. This whole thing is exhilarating. You're not necessarily always going through like these fast-paced scenarios, but you're watching all these paths be like threaded and interwoven, and you're wondering at what point is he gonna find himself in a mess that he can't get out of. And that's the beauty about movies like this, is we all know people that kind of just burn the candle at both ends, and this is certainly a person like that. But he's so charming. Part of you always believes that he may get away with this. Like, he may be able to secure his victory amongst all this chaos that he caused. But first things first, this is a table tennis movie to begin with. It's not really truly that through its entirety, but to begin with, it is a table tennis movie. So how does that look? It looks fantastic. I mean, table tennis is not a sport that excites me, but damn, it looks good. I mean, it's kind of a bit of an underground sport at this point. It has legitimacy in other countries, but the US market doesn't really have the amenities and the excitement that Japan has in this movie for table tennis. So like when you see him in New York doing table tennis matches, like it's under, you know, different circumstances than what he does when he's traveling in Japan. But table tennis is not a primary focus of this movie for too much. It's more of a character study about this chaotic man who is honestly just like a monster to everyone he knows, from his mother to his friend, to his childhood love interest, to the people that could give him life-changing opportunities. He's a monster to all of them, but many of them are a monster back to him. So it's very interesting. The only thing I would say about this movie is 2.5 hours. Maybe could have cut 15 minutes off. I don't know where I would do that, but I do think if I sat down, I could say, this extended too much, or this kind of was redundant in terms of developing the character. And then another thing is that it takes place in the 50s, which is awesome. I mean, you know, the certain decades of American history have a little bit of charm to them, but I don't know if this movie really dives deep into that. Some of the garb, the clothing the people wear, yeah, you can tell it's like drab and dull, like the 50s wear, even those little like flat hats, I don't know what they're called. But you also don't feel like the culture of the 1950s, specifically in New York City. I feel like that would be a distinct vibe, and I don't really get that from this. But it is an indie movie. They can only do so much with their budget. Speaking of the budget, I mean, I don't know how they got this like star-studded cast, but there are so many cool performances here. I mean, obviously Timothy is great. Gwyneth Paltrow is great. Kevin O'Leary, who I think is a terrible person in real life. He's just a shark, quite literally. Yeah, he's fantastic in this. He basically plays a little slimy businessman. So he plays himself, but he plays it to a T. Tracy McGrady, Kemba Walker, George Gervin, like NBA legends are here. Kemba Walker's not a legend, but like NBA greats and really goods are here, which is awesome. Because I know in the last Safdie brother movie that I saw, aside from, well, this isn't a Safdie brother movie, but I also saw The Smashing Machine, which was but before that I saw Uncut Gems, and Kevin Garnett did a great job in that. So it's cool that they're getting like, you know, retired NBA talent to just pop up in movies. But a lot of the actors here, you can tell, are just regular people, and they give some of the most believable performances. Like, you know, I don't know if these people are necessarily of street life, but the guys that are kind of the tough guys from around the way, like, they do a great job of portraying that. And you feel real tension when they pop up on screen. There's a couple people in mind when I'm talking about this, but they're fantastic. There's some action here, you know, as our character finds himself in real sticky situations with people he shouldn't have been fucking with. But overall, it's just like a drama more than a sports drama. It's a drama about a man who is scheming his way somewhere, but it's certainly not to the top. He's just like, I don't know, he has his eyes set on this niche thing of table tennis, and he will do whatever it takes to show his worth in that sport. And then also he's burning bridges everywhere he goes, and it's just, you know, eventually he runs out of ways to escape the chaos that he caused. But yeah, I don't know, this movie's great. I'm thinking a 9.5 out of 10. It's borderline a 10 out of 10 for me. I think, again, it could just shave some of the time off, but it's really good. So go see it and have a good Christmas.